This is the BLUEAIR CP7i Premium Air Purifier. The biggest real-world benefit is straightforward. I start cooking, the air quality ring snaps from blue to amber, the fan quietly ramps up, and the lingering food smell I used to wake up to just does not happen anymore. I've been living with this unit every day in a busy home with kids, a dog, and a lot of cooking. It sits in that category of serious home air purifiers made for people who care about indoor air beyond just dust. If you deal with allergies, if your kitchen overlaps with your living space, or if pets and people constantly bring in new particles, this is made for larger rooms where a compact unit would struggle to keep up. Design matters because you do not hide something this size. The steel body has a matte gray finish that looks calm and blends into a room without pretending to be a piece of furniture. The sides have a clean mesh pattern, the back is a full grille, and the top has a color-coded air quality indicator that you can read in a glance. It weighs about 35 pounds, but the wheels make it easy to roll from room to room. I have kids who bump into everything, and the steel shell has shrugged off toy cars and chair legs without picking up ugly scars. On the front, there is a single large button that handles the basics when I do not want to reach for my phone. I tap to change fan speeds, or I set it to auto and let it figure things out. Setup took a bit of patience. It is more than plug and run. I connected it to my home wireless network and paired it with the BLUEAIR application. The pairing did not click on the first try. I restarted the purifier once, stood closer to my wireless router, and after that it showed up instantly in the application. From there, the experience is easy. I created a schedule with quiet hours overnight, and I set a morning ramp up so the kitchen is already cycling air before coffee. I turned on the child lock so curious fingers cannot change settings. I check the filter status every couple of weeks so I am never surprised. The best part is that I rarely open the application now, because auto mode and that front button cover what I need. Performance is where this thing earns its spot. The filtration is a mix of high-efficiency particulate air and an electrostatic charge, which, in day-to-day terms, means it does not just catch the big stuff that you can see. It grabs very small particles, down to about 1/10 of a micron. When I overdo the toaster or when smoky air drifts in from outside, it responds within moments. The ring changes color, the fan steps up, and the room clears meaningfully faster than with my last purifier. I also appreciate the simple pre-filter. Pet hair and larger particles collect there first, which keeps the main filters working efficiently and makes cleanup simple. There is a blue photon pure light that pulses inside the filter on a regular interval to sterilize captured germs. I cannot measure that at home, but I can tell you the unit never develops that stale filter smell that some purifiers get after heavy use. Noise is important because an air purifier that is loud will not stay on. On auto, it sits at a gentle hum in my kitchen, quiet enough that it disappears into the sound of a normal home. Using a basic phone meter, I usually saw measurements in the low 40s in decibels when the air was fairly clean. When it ramps up during cooking, you hear moving air, but it never turns into a roar. We can watch a show a few feet away, and it is background sound rather than a distraction. On the lowest setting at night, it is softer than my refrigerator and easy to sleep with. My real-world testing has been simple and honest. I cook a lot, and the ring reacts within seconds of hitting oil in a hot pan. When I saute garlic or sear steak, it will bump into red. I keep the range hood on, but the purifier is what keeps the living room from smelling like dinner an hour later. By the time we finish eating and sit down, the space feels neutral. No fake scents, just less of everything. During pollen season, I saw a visible difference on the black glass coffee table. Less dust settled, and morning sneezes dropped off. The dog sheds year-round, and the pre-filter catches enough hair that I can wipe it off with a cloth and keep going. I tried a controlled test in the living room with the windows closed. We had friends over for an afternoon. The oven warmed appetizers, and there were multiple people moving around stirring up particles. The purifier moved quietly between speeds on its own. After everyone left, the room felt fresh instead of heavy. In the bedroom, on nights when one of us had a cold, I ran it on the second speed. The air felt cleaner, and the steady sound of the fan acted like a soft blanket of noise. If you are sensitive to light in a dark room, the ring can feel a touch bright. I angled the unit slightly so the ring faced a wall and the glow softened. One use case that really sold me is my open-plan kitchen and living area. It is where smells and smoke tend to spread fast and hang around. I keep the purifier near the spot where the two spaces meet. I start prepping dinner, and as soon as heat hits the pan, the ring moves to amber, then to red if I am frying. I hear it step through its 4 fan levels without being jumpy or annoying. By the time we sit down to eat or watch something, the air has already evened out. I used to light a candle to mask that stale after cooking smell. I do not need to do that anymore. The smart features that matter are here without feeling like a gimmick. The color-coded ring gives me immediate feedback, which is more helpful than a vague percentage buried in a menu. Auto mode is tuned well. It reacts quickly to changes without constantly hunting. The scheduling in the application removes one more thing for me to remember. The child lock has saved my settings more than once when the kids are exploring. And filters are easy to change. I pop off the front panel, slide the 2 filters out, slide the new ones in, and press the panel back on. No tiny tabs to break, no tools. The wheels turned out to be a quality of life win. I roll it to the kitchen during cooking, into the living room in the evening, and toward the hallway at night to keep air moving where we need it. There are trade-offs to live with. It takes real floor space, so I picked a spot that gives it room to breathe without getting in the way. The weight is honest. Rolling is simple. Lifting is not something I want to do often. The initial setup could be friendlier. Pairing took me a couple of tries and worked best when I was close to my router. When my internet connection stumbled, app controls were a little slower, but the physical button on the front always worked instantly. This model uses 2 filters, and I plan for a replacement roughly once a year based on our usage. That is just part of owning a purifier that actually does its job. Day to day, what keeps it in my home is the mix of peace of mind and low friction. The steel body feels like it will last. The indicator ring turns invisible data into something I can read without thinking. The response to cooking, smoke, and dusty days is quick and noticeable. The sound profile stays gentle enough that it never becomes a nuisance, and the application gives me just enough control to set routines and then forget about it. If you need a powerful, quiet purifier for a larger room or an open plan space, if you cook often, live with pets, or deal with allergies, the BLUEAIR CP7i Premium Air Purifier is a strong fit. If your rooms are tiny, or if you plan to carry a unit up and down stairs every day, the size and weight might push you towards something smaller. For me, the combination of strong filtration, thoughtful automatic behavior, durable build, and straightforward maintenance makes it an easy recommendation and an easy keeper. If this video helped, please subscribe to the channel and leave a comment with your questions or your own experience. Thank you for watching.